I was actually looking for a video from Kevin Sorbo and his wife, as Telltale Atheist covered it, I think yesterday or whenever. And well, that's when I clicked on it yesterday, and couldn't find it. And these uploaders don't bother leaving links in their fucking description for everything. For some reason, they leave everything else. They're fucking shilling bullshit, but not the video. So looking for it, I came across this thing anyway, this article. So I'm gonna cover it instead. And I know that if I was to leave a comment in the video, I'd get nothing because you people are all fucking douchebags. But anyway, I'm gonna go over this. Okay, so Mark Wahlberg was supposedly kicked out of Hollywood for expressing his love of the Lord. Right from the get-go, the questions that come to my mind, well, the question that comes to my mind is, why the fuck are you saying anything? What does Hollywood have to do with God or religious belief? Are you there to preach the gospel, as you guys would call it? What the fuck? I wouldn't kick you out of the industry, but you wonder why you were. And then it's just persecution bullshit. You're not persecuted if you're causing the problem. Okay, so I will not hide the fact that I love the Lord. Okay, why do you love the Lord? Define love, and why do you even want the Lord? Why do you want any kind of authority? Loves Jesus, and he's not afraid to tell his Hollywood colleagues about his faith. Do they want to hear about your faith? I guess I'll just read this as if I'm talking to him. That he probably won't ever click on this video, but oh well, whatever. Yeah, and how would you react if they told you to fuck off? Would you cry like a little baby like you're doing here? Whining that you were supposedly kicked out of Hollywood for doing something you're not supposed to be? I don't agree with cancel culture again, but that's what happened. And you're crying about it. You caused the problem, you throw the stone, and you bitch that somebody had the balls to do it, throw it back at you. Look, I will not hide the fact that I love the Lord and I want to be committed to serving the Lord. Okay, why? What do you mean you're not hiding the fact? Who's asking you to reveal yourself, and why? Why do people need to know? You will not hide the fact. It's not a matter of hiding, it's a matter of keeping it to yourself. And if people want to hear it, then tell them about it, and only then. Otherwise, keep your fucking mouth shut. This is why we atheists are here. Now, Telltale Atheist was covering a video from Kevin Sorbo, who was saying that we atheists are hateful, that we're empty, we're unemployed and all that shit. This is why we're here. Because of you guys. You are not afraid to tell people about your faith, your love of the Lord. But yet, anytime we speak up, oh, we're hateful, we're unemployed, we're this, we're that. Nothing but projection. So, but I also don't jam it. Sounds like you fucking do. Nobody asked you for anything, Mark. But here you are. You're not hiding the fact that. Who says you were? And you're not shoving it down anybody's throat. What are you doing then? Why were you kicked out of Hollywood then? I will not hide the fact that I love the Lord, and yeah. He's not afraid to tell his Hollywood colleagues, but yet he's not shoving it down anybody's throat. But it's better to never have known God than to deny God. I mean, that's not a good look. It's better to never have known God. I would ask how you know God, but I'm not interested in the epistemology behind religious belief, but the psychology behind it. And so, with that said, I would ask, my question is, why do you want to know God, and why do you also want everybody else to know God? And what's in it for you, if they do? Why is denying God bad? Why do you approve of God? Why do you accept God. How is God good? I wish I'd never known about God. Well, of course. It's better to never have known God. I don't even know what that means. Well, I do. You're saying to actually know God, not know of God. I get it. But you don't know God either. How can you? Your only source of God is the Bible, which is nothing. That's ghost written. That's ghost scripture, I guess. And for you to declare that's not a good look, who are you to declare anything? What do I care what you think? I mean, if you were to tell me, oh, well, you deny God and that's not good, what the fuck do I care about your opinion? You're a crybaby. Wahlberg made similar comments stating that faith is the most... How is it important? Why is it important? You know? And if it's important because we're all going to go to hell if we don't, well then, who caused that problem? Maybe God did? And you're enabling this God. So how does that make faith the most important thing? Denying God would be the most important thing if Christianity is true, which would mean that God does actually exist. Faith puts things in what? How? Nothing but just empty statements. Yeah. 2 right here. You don't explain, no examples, no nothing. And if we were to question you, what then? Oh, well, you're going to hell if you don't question me. Oh, you just reject God. You're hateful. Or you hate God. That's what you would say, or something like that. How dare us question anything you say as representatives of God? Well, it's not even as representatives. You guys are all about it for yourselves, not God. Wahlberg values the power of prayer and... why pray to a God who is all-powerful, has the plan, and often works in mysterious ways? Wouldn't prayer mean to... or suggest that you don't agree with God or you don't trust God? If I'm told that a God exists and he's all-powerful and he has a plan and everything else, I'm not going to pray to him. What bother? Is that like? Is he going to change his divine plan just for me or anybody else? Probably not. And if he does, what does that say about God? You're going to pray to the God that caused the problem? He made this world fallen, did he not? It was Adam and Eve? Well, how did Adam and Eve do it? Okay, so they disobeyed God. They ate the forbidden fruit, and God banished them. So was it them? Was it Adam and Eve that said, "Oh well, sorry God, we disobeyed you. We're going to make ourselves, we're going to curse ourselves with sin"? Is that how it happened, or did God do it? Fuck. If I see somebody in public eye, or that I read in the newspaper, somebody that's struggling, somebody that has somebody's struggling in a fallen world, who would have thunk it? Who would have ever thought somebody was struggling in this fucking world? Which you excuse by saying that God exists, or that God caused it, or that not that God caused it, you deny that. Yeah, which is because of Adam and Eve. Someone is struggling. Lots of people are fucking struggling. Does prayer solve that problem? Well, what if the world wasn't struggling? Then what? I guess people wouldn't want religion if everybody in the world was doing alright, now would they? If we were all Christ-like and everything else. If the world was perfect and stabilized. If I see somebody in public eye, or that I read the newspaper, somebody that's struggling, somebody that has a child that's having a health issue or stuff like that, yeah, you're going to pray for them? What caused the health issues? God didn't? What happened then? If God isn't responsible for it? Why does anybody have health issues or stuff like that? And if God doesn't have anything to do with it, well, why to pray to him anyway? So it's either praying to God who caused the problem or praying to God who has nothing to do with the problem. Think about that, Mark. What does that mean? And shouldn't we be trying to solve this stuff ourselves? Could it be an economic issue? That so many people have a health issue or stuff like that? I don't see God helping us with that. And why do we have to pray? Is God all-knowing? When he know, oh well, yeah, a lot of people have health problems, I'm going to intervene so this doesn't happen. Does God do that? No. So what the fuck? And I usually ended up keeping them in my prayers. Oh, just so good for you. You're just such a humanist. You're going to rely on a God who caused the fucking problem to not do anything. Just so you can feel better about yourself and be able to sleep at night being the fucking celebrity millionaire that you are. Speaking of which, Wahlberg has over 70 acting titles to his name and recognizes the position. Yeah, he put you in that position while he put everybody else in health issues. Fuck you. You think about those talents and gifts that you were given. What about everybody else then? What, God favored you for some fucking reason? And it had nothing to do with you? You didn't achieve all that on your own? It was all God? I think that might be even worse than being egotistical. Reflecting on the parable of the talents of... What? Of the talents in the Bible. Somebody was given one little gift and talent. He didn't want to take any... What? Wahlberg said, reflecting on the parable of the talents in the Bible, somebody was given one little gift and talent and he didn't want to take... I don't even know what that means. Even though an investment in faith is a risk, how is faith a risk? What does that even mean? Investment in faith is a risk. If it is a risk, why do you want that risk and why do you want that challenge? Would you need to take any risk or challenge if God was a responsible creator and made everyone equal and gave them equal opportunities? Well, would they even need opportunities if God was a responsible creator? Not making any sense here. Which is typical. Wahlberg knows that the eyes of his growing children are on him, so ask for guidance through prayer. What? Wahlberg knows that the eyes of his growing children are on him. What the fuck does that mean? Growing children are on his... So asks for guidance through prayer. I pray for the patience. Prayer, prayer, prayer. Everything is on God's shoulders. With my kids, I want to be an example to my children. They know they're getting a faith-based education. How is that good? What does the faith-based education even mean? None of you you're all just these weird statements. Never any explanation or example of them. What the fuck is a faith-based education? And I don't force them to go to church. Well, you say this, but yet that's what this whole article is about, that you are supposedly rejected from Hollywood because you love the word and want to tell your Hollywood colleagues about it, and you refuse to hide your faith or your love in the Lord, but yet you don't force them to go to church. Why are they so lucky to not have to put up with your shit? Wahlberg wants them to about why their father does the things he does when it comes to faith. Now, what the fuck does that mean? What kind of shit is Mark into because he believes God is telling him to? Maybe that's the actual reason why he got kicked out of Hollywood. With me, they know that's not even an option for me to not go to Mass. Why isn't it? Why isn't it an option? What if you don't? Then what? Okay, good. That's all there is. No, I'll click on the video anyway.
Hi, you're watching Movie Guide. I'm your host, Evie Bearkill. We're Now News, but we're not in our offices. We're in Nashville at NRB. We just received an award for the best television show, so I want to thank you
blah, blah,
for watching
blah.
our shows. And I also...
Is there a point to this?
Prayer of gratitude, because he knows faith is the most important thing in my life. He said, by the time I open my eyes, before I turn the light on or do anything, I'm kind of saying my prayers. I go in my prayer room and I take that 15 or 20 minutes to express how grateful I am. Wahlberg said in a recent interview, remember last year he posted his daily schedule and he said that he wakes up.
So everybody else in the fucking world has the same attitude? Every other Christian in the world is doing well and doing great in life? Fuck you.
Up at 2:30 a.m. and at 2:45 he's already in his prayer
room
praying
schedule.
for 30 minutes before breakfast, people. Before breakfast. That is a lot of commitment because it's hard for me to wake up at 7 a.m. when my toddler's calling for me. But it convicts me to remind me that we should pray on a daily basis.
For
and
what?
Be grateful for what God has given us. But not only that.
Yeah, what God has given them. What about everybody else in the fucking world? Talk about self-absorption. Fuck that noise. And you pray for other people. Why? You don't even... What pisses me off about these celebrities is they never even ask why me. You know what? I think this whole... while they talk about being blessed and everything. That's what the big thing is for Michael Franzese and his stupid ass followers. Bless him. You know, a man with a criminal past who walked away breaking an oath becomes blessed by God. And I think that that blessing is actually a test of faith. I mean, Christianity is not about people, it's about God. So I don't understand where this idea that, oh, well, God has given me everything, and meanwhile so many people go without and they suffer and whatever else. They have such a shit life, and you know, everything is their own fault for not, you know. So yeah, I think this whole blessing thing is a test of faith, and you guys are failing miserably because Christianity is about God, not you guys. But no, your self-absorption just clouds your mind on that shit.
He says, I know that God didn't bless me with all this to say, forget about where you came from and just go off and do you. And
come on, let me read that shit.
he actually says that God is the one that gave him this platform. He actually says that God is the one that gave him this platform. There is now an you and have a great bless me with
I know
all
that
this
God
to say,
didn't bless me with all of this
about
just
where
to
you
say
came
forget
from,
about...
just go off and do you and have a great life. He actually...
Is Christianity about having a great life? Well, how can it be if life is to be spent under submission to God's will, as we're all broken? How can a great life fit into those two criteria? Especially when you guys have an afterlife coming up, or you believe you do. And to not is to go to hell for eternity. How does having a great life fit into all that shit?
He says that God is the one that gave him this platform. There is now an opportunity and a responsibility to give back and inspire other people to say no matter where you come from or what obstacles you may face, if you actually go and do the right thing, good things will happen for you. Wahlberg.
All this feel-good nonsense. These, I guess, platitudes they would be. I don't know exactly what platitude is. I never looked the term up, but I hear it a lot. This is nothing but emotion. This is bullshit. Religion is about God, not people. If it was about people, the Bible wouldn't exist. Nobody would have ever been killed by God. God would have made us, if God does exist, He would have made us immortal and invincible. We'd be able to do whatever the fuck we want. No consequences whatsoever for anything. But no, that's just not how reality is it? People are so fucking delusional.
Is a husband, a father, an entrepreneur, a
good for fucking him. Is everybody else in the fucking world?
Foundation, which gives back to children through sports. From this, we can remember that talking about faith is important, and on our platforms, it's also a great
Still don't know why.
Every day, we should be grateful for what God has given us. All I can say is,
what has He given us? Life? What good is that? Life is broken. Life is to be spent under submission to His will. How is life a gift? Fuck.
is that maybe Mark Wahlberg should have been in the movie War Room. Am I right, people? For more videos like
no,
this,
you're not.
It's
going to happen when it's supposed to happen. It might not be in your time, but it's going to happen. Second of all, you have to call fellowship on moms. They are like family. They'll treat you like family.
Until you stop believing, then you're fucked. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Fucking stupid.